Lego is killing itself, and at this rate I genuinely believe they could go bankrupt within the next decade. And I know that sounds dramatic. I know Lego is the biggest toy company on planet Earth. I know year on year they record record-breaking profits, but there's a lot of information and data that people are overlooking, and that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Because what we are seeing right now is the exact same pattern that nearly destroyed Lego once before, and they are walking straight back into that trap once again. If you do find this video interesting, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, as I'm working really hard to try and reach 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel at the moment. Right now, the average Lego fan looks at the yearly financial reports and goes, well, profits are up, they're absolutely fine. But profits going up doesn't necessarily mean sales are healthy. It could also mean that prices are skyrocketing, which is exactly what we are seeing in the Lego space right now. Lego is squeezing more money out of fewer purchases, and that is just not sustainable. I know countless Lego fans, including myself, who now buy fewer Lego sets than before. Not because we stopped loving Lego, but because we're sick of things like high prices, weak minifigure quality, gimmicks instead of innovation, and themes just totally losing their identity. Lego thinks that they can offset shrinking interest with higher prices, but that is exactly how companies collapse, without realising it until it's too late. In the early 2000s, Lego nearly went bankrupt, and what caused it? Not a lack of demand, not a weak brand, but bloat. They became obsessed with fads, gimmicks, with turning Lego into anything but Lego. Instead of focusing on creativity, play, timeless bricks, they chased trends. Exactly like what they are doing now. And what pushed them to the edge back then is the same mistake that they're making today, only this time the gimmick has a new name, that being the smart brick. A tech-based piece that lights up and interacts with other bricks, which sounds innovative, right? Well no, it's the complete opposite of what Lego stands for. Lego has always been the escape from screens, apps, tech overload. You build, you imagine, you create the magic, not a microchip. And now Lego is shoving technology into the product. Not only will this drive prices up even further, we're already seeing some insane early pricing leaks, but it also betrays the core philosophy of Lego itself. And here's a sign that Lego could be starting to fail that nobody I've seen is talking about. Retailers are already reacting to slowing demand. Take a look at Amazon and other big retailers. Lego sets are being discounted before they are even released. When has that ever happened? And when is that ever a sign of a healthy product? You don't discount an item before it releases unless you're worried it won't sell. And there's also another huge problem, the fact that the fan base is starting to shift. Fewer and fewer kids are getting into Lego. Lego knows this, which is why they're pivoting heavily to adults. And listen, that works now because adult fans have disposable income and nostalgia. But it's also worth mentioning that those adults that are buying Lego, most of them were brought up with Lego. If the kids of nowadays aren't getting into Lego, it's highly likely they never will get into it when they do become adults and have more disposable income. Quite simply, if Lego starts to price out younger fans, which they are already doing, there is no next generation to replace us. No pipeline, no future buyers. Movie theatres today are dying for the same reason. Short-term profit, long-term collapse. And I just wanted to mention briefly about movie theatres because I know a fair bit about movies and the film industry, and I find there's actually quite a lot of parallels between the Lego group and the movie industry. Fewer people are going to the cinema now than for a long time. Well, that is because theatres and cinemas are starting to charge those fewer fans more money for things like luxury recliner seats and other optional extras. But one day, the people paying those premiums stop showing up, and then the floor caves in. And this is exactly the problem that Lego will face imminently. They are surviving not through growth, but through charging more money to a shrinking number of fans that are still hanging on. If those fans start to get fed up, and many already are, the bubble will burst. So yes, I could actually foresee a future where Lego could go bankrupt in the next decade if they don't start to turn the ship around. And that's not because people don't love Lego, but because Lego is drifting away from what made people fall in love with it in the first place. If they keep pushing for things like gimmicks such as smart bricks and start pricing basically every other Lego set that we see released nowadays as $200 to $300 and above, then I can just foresee that that will start to push away even the most diehard of adult collectors. Listen, this isn't a hate video. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. I've seen this kind of thing happen in other industries before, but I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this video, but I don't care. Listen, let me know down in the comments what you think. I am interested to hear all other different perspectives. And like I said, if you have at least enjoyed listening to this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.